And the baby boom generation still has people who think life's about nothing but them. The me, everything's about my comfort, my psychological health, my what have you. We have had so much time on our hands that we've been able to focus on ourselves like our parents didn't have the time to, because they didn't have the prosperity that we had. They didn't have the wealth, nor the opportunity for it.
Do you like lo-fi and noise?
Sorry?
Do you like lo-fi and noise?
I don't have you better.
Do you like lo-fi and noise? They're genres. Headphone users beware, okay? Because we're going to enjoy some of this type of stuff, and we're going to share it with some telemarketers and see what they think.
Thank you for holding. My name is Sandy, and I'm here to assist you with your Google listing. Am I speaking with the owner?
Can you hear me? Hello?
No.
Hello?
Hello?
You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Sandy, and I'm here to assist you with your Google listing. Am I speaking with the owner?
Yes.
You're breaking up too much, sir. Sorry.
Can you hear me? And yeah, it's just bad capacitors, but you know, there's so much more there. I wanted to take a minute to talk about the significance of Rush Limbaugh. Now, let me start off by saying that I'm not a fan, never really listened to one of his shows. When I'm working on a radio, yeah, I'd pass over him, and you know, he had a kind of a sarcastic humor that I would enjoy, but never sat and listened to one of his shows. Just not far right enough for me. How's that? But he was extremely significant to AM radio, and AM radio still being on the air. And there's a lot of love for vintage radios in general, of course. You know, they're much more popular and much more widely collected, both transistor and tube radios, than televisions. Televisions are, you know, way down on the list compared to old radios, partly because of the complexity, and the other part is because there are still signals on the air, analog signals, to listen to your AM radio, although shortwave's going away, or it's largely gone away compared to what it used to be. But in the late 80s, AM radio was dying, and of course FM had come up, and it was a superior format for music. Of course, if you're, you know, want to listen to music in any kind of fidelity, of course you want to listen to music on FM. But, you know, here's kind of the real kicker on it. AM was, you know, kind of dying. And then in the late 80s, you know, Rush popped up with his nationally syndicated show. And here's the key to the whole thing. A lot of people don't like talk radio on AM. They'd rather have music. But music doesn't pay the bills. And the reason why is fairly simple. When you have music on a radio, it's in the background. You know, you got a radio in the office or the shop, and you know the phone's ringing and you're talking, and it's in the background. Well, with talk radio, you're presumably sitting there listening to it, and the difference is the commercial time tends to pay a lot more because nobody's really listening to the commercials on a music station in the background. But presumably if you're driving along listening to something like Rush, you're much more likely to actually process and acknowledge and absorb that advertisement than you would be with music. So Rush Limbaugh is directly credited for saving the AM band at some level, and then all of that genre that followed, the talk radio genre. So a bit of a kick in the pants there to AM radio. I don't think it's going away anytime soon, but man, it sure has. I don't know, we've lost our classic hit station here, and who knows which way it's going to go. But I still love working on these radios, and I'll continue to do that. I have my own transmitter. I've just never used it, but I have an actual professional Part 97 transmitter. I could grab it, and so here it is. And you know what's neat about this? It has an auto tuner in it. That's what this is. So you can put almost any length of wire on this, and I don't know, from 3 or 4 feet on up, and it will electronically, automatically adjust. It'll move this, the slugs permeability tune. It'll move this in and out, and it will tune for the best SWR on that length of wire. And it has audio input, and you can actually, it's where the antenna connects. So I believe what you can actually do with this too is you can just record a message that repeats. You know, like, yeah, there's the microphone. Like a road hazard statement or something like that. And it doesn't go very far. It goes maybe 300 feet, something like that, 350 feet, not far. 100 meters, not far. But I do have a real AM transmitter, and we'll fire this up and play with it someday. I'll take it out to the desert. So anyway, just putting that out there, that if you're into old radios in the United States, because some other countries have pretty much eliminated AM, you know, you really should take a second and think about what Rush did to keep AM broadcast alive. So yeah, I mean, nothing going on here. It's just a couple bad capacitors. These 2 capacitors are bad, but you know, we'll change those out. Yeah, lo-fi and noise, different genres. Okay, we got a 250 and a 25 here. These Philco transistors are such good quality. Oh, that one's cracked. Look at that. See the crack in it? So let's change these, and then we'll touch up the IF, and sucker will be ready for another 150 years. Okay, I dug a couple vintage Sprague capacitors. Yeah, I know, vintage capacitors. This one's like 30 microfarads at 12 ohm ESR. That's kind of high, but I might just stick it in there. I'm trying to keep it all American. This one's 254. The ESR is 0.21. So this one's good, but this one's a little bit questionable. Good enough for this thing.
Those two reasons. They're untraceable and there's no background check. The city.
Oh. By the way, Radio Disney is still on the air.
Good liquid soft gelatin capsule.
Sounds good. Okay. Drove my Jason JJ Cruiser to the levee, but the levee was dry.
More than moving your credit score 120 points.
Oh yeah. Little Backstreet Boys. That's right. Just say it. Okay, I want to minimize it and then try and adjust the antenna trimmer back here. But man, I'm just rocking so hard to Backstreet Boys. I got it pretty good here. K Mozart, what used to be LA Oldies, which is, by the way, is pretty much dropped off the charts as far as even measurable listenership. Good going there, Sal. I knew it would be an award-winning move, and of course it was.
20년 30% chance of crashing.
At a press conference in the same Harlem space where he was killed in front of his family, Reginald Wood read from a deathbed confession from an NYPD member about the killing of Malcolm X.
This letter reported by Notre Dame Federal.
Online, go to salemmedia.com.
Former President Donald Trump will be making his first post-presidential appearance at the conservative CPAC conference. Trump has been confirmed to speak at the convention.
Couldn't be easier, because everything's ready to go in the app. Just say,
Alexa, play news from Fox. In Fox News.
it's the latest.
What started with the two of us in a garage is now over 200 trained professionals. Legacy Box is a safe and secure way to put all your favorite family memories on an easy-to-view digital format like a thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud. We ship you a
I absolutely love the video where
safety barcodes to track your items.
V Westlife sends a bunch of stuff to Legacy Box and then reviews it. I just love that video. That's so totally awesome.
Affordable to preserve your entire collection. So we're offering 40% off. Go to legacybox.com/rush to take advantage of this exclusive offer. That's legacybox.com/rush to save 40%. legacybox.com/rush.
Keeping you informed is our job.
There are two conditions the district is looking at when determining to reopen schools for in-person instruction: the spread of the virus and the rollout of the vaccine
This is
for staff. Chairman Fletcher talking
this is Kogo 600 out of San Diego. So
on us to bring you the very latest news
I
as
think
it's happening. Kogo's news anchors and reporters are always monitoring what's going on.
Marilyn Hyder.
Jack Cronin, Zachary Barnes, Kogo News.
So that you can stay on top of this constantly changing situation on News Radio 600 Kogo.
You're listening to The Limbaugh Legacy
Rush has always been a different kind of host.
Ronaldus Magnus turned 60 in 1971. He was still in the middle of his tenure as governor of California when he turned 60. I, of course, turned 60 years of age today. I've always, when I was younger, I always wanted to be older, and that hasn't changed. I'm worried about becoming 60. I don't worry about becoming 61 because every year has been better than the year before. And I know that's not true for everybody, but I always thought it was going to be for me because I hated being a kid. I didn't like not having any control. I feel at all the way I saw my dad at 40. So my friend and I began discussing this. And he had a fascinating theory, one which I have now stolen and use as my own. And that is that our father's generation and our grandfather's generation, they had to grow up a lot sooner than we did, the baby boomers. If you are a regular listener here, you know that I believe the baby boom generation has had to invent its traumas. We've had to invent our problems to convince us that our lives have been tough. Because compared to our parents and grandparents, we don't know what tough is. Now, I know everything's relative, and that life isn't easy, but this generation did not face two concurrent threats to its existence, as in World War I and World War II, plus the Great Depression. These people, our parents and grandkid parents, at 18, they knew that life was about things much larger than themselves. And the baby boom generation still has people who think life's about nothing but them. The me, everything's about my comfort, my psychological health, my what have you. We have had so much time on our hands that we've been able to focus on ourselves like our parents didn't have the time to, because they didn't have the prosperity that we had. They didn't have the wealth, nor the opportunity for it, but they created it. They set the stage for all of that. And as a result, we've had to invent our traumas, our problems, and we didn't have to grow up as fast as they did. At age 40, some of them were worn out. After having been, my dad was at China, Burma in World War II, but you had members of that generation all over Europe and in...
Can't really deny what he's saying about baby boomers, but like I said at the opener here, I've never really listened to Rush.
Showing up, banging his foot.
I mean, he is a boomer. I'm not a boomer. I'm a late X. Some people think I'm a boomer, but I'm not a boomer.
They believed it. When Khrushchev came to the UN, started banging his shoes, said, "We will bury you, we will bury you." That, well, not on my watch, you won't. And they believed it.
So, you know, say whatever you want about talk radio. LoFi AM talk is probably kept the lights on, kept the band alive, kept the transmitter powered up because it sells advertising. And I don't want to see the AM broadcast band go away. I love working on these old radios. It probably sadly will someday, but it's not going to go digital first. It's just going to probably slowly fade away as less and less people listen to it. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. This is...
Is this him?
Yes.
Oh, it's kind of staticky.
Can you hear me?
Because you sound too far. Like, I can't hear some of the things that...
I'm right.
We'll call back.
Can you hear me? What was the call regarding?
I'm sorry behalf of Store Credit,
Okay.
and we just wanted to see if you currently have something in place to help you generate your and manage your online reviews.
If I have something in place for what?
To generate and manage your online reviews.
I think so. What do you have for me?
So I'm calling on behalf of Credit. We just have like a few offers if you're interested in signing up for them.
Okay. Okay. What are they?
So we do offer a 1 month fee. Like if you wanted to help you with your online reviews, like generate more reviews and all that, and for 1 month it's like we can waive the 1 month fee.
Okay, for the internet?
Yes.
Or for Amazon? Do you hand...
It's just for... hello? It's kind of hard to hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me clearly.
Do you handle my Amazon reviews?
Your online reviews for your garage?
For Amazon?
No, for everything else. Like when people are Googling your shop, they can see the online reviews and you can interact with your customers.
Okay. My garage has TVs.
Your garage is what?